folks. There's a little bit of a different introduction to the podcast than normal. This is Aiden Ballard, apologizing for the audio quality of this episode. As you'll see plenty within the podcast, we decided to record it on a Discord call, and I could not for the life of me get my computer to function. As a result, Charles had to record the podcast using his Chromebook. And so, there were a number of audio issues upon export, and I could not fix some of them. So, it's gonna sound really, really scuffed at the beginning, but trust me, the rest of the podcast, the other hour, is not nearly as scuffed and scuffs rarely. So, stick with it, and I apologize for the inconvenience the quality causes. With that said, let's get right into the episode.
Howdy, folks. I'm Nick Pickles, and this is the Data Bitch podcast. I believe this is episode 7, and we're here today. We're going to be recording kind of a, Christmas episode this week, because by the time this comes out, it should be the 22nd. Yeah, so it'll be right around Christmas time. That'll work. Got a couple other people on voice call right now with me over Discord. We got Nicholas.
What's up?
Nice. And we got Aiden. All right, fuck Aiden. Aiden couldn't even make it again today. Managed to be here over a voice chat, which is nice of him. But yeah, so he's guest starring on the episode that he's not here to record again. I couldn't even get Sean this week, so I'm just doing it myself. But whatever. Aiden's every fucking week something new comes up. You're never gonna show up, so I think I calculated that his attendance percentage at this point is somewhere around 38% of the time he shows up, which is really fucking bad. Just saying. Jesus Christ. He's been on less than Sean has as a substitute for Aiden. One goddamn job.
That's kind of sad.
Honestly. But anyways, it's super sad, but we're gonna go on without him because that's what we always have to. Aiden, where are you? What are you doing right now?
He's probably instructing his brother on how to do his homework. I heard him before the call talking about that.
Jesus Christ, you have one responsibility and you're already not doing that. No, we don't hear you, you stupid fuck. Aiden Ballard says, guys, I'm literally talking. What? I'm not muted. Sounds like an Apple user moment. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, honestly.
Jesus Christ. My Chromebook is performing better than the stupid Apple MacBook Air or whatever you have.
That's a fact.
Jesus Christ. And it has a USB port. Nick, why?
Speaking of USB ports.
Yeah.
I have a USB hub for my computer because my computer only has one USB.
Yeah. One more than Aiden.
Port. Yeah, and so basically I have to so I've run out of space on my USB hub, and so I have a 4-port USB hub right now, and I need an 8-port one because it's too small because I need so many USB spaces for my mouse and my keyboard and stuff.
Facts. Jesus
Pretty
Christ.
whack.
And then Aiden has to get a fucking adapter to have one USB port.
That's true.
From his USB-C. Nick, it said you were offline until just now for some reason.
Yeah. I just turned my status online.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping we would get a few more people on here, but whatever. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Aiden's typing again.
Oh, this should be good. You guys can't hear, can you? Well, no shit. What do you think? This might be better if I just narrate what Aiden's saying. Aiden, you just type through the whole thing. I'll be you. Hey guys, this is Aiden Ballard here. You guys can't hear, can you? Okay then. Jesus Christ. Nick responded with, no, you absolute unit of stupidity. Aiden is just so helpless.
Aiden is special.
What a lost cause. But
Honestly.
But regardless, we're not gonna let him stop us from having a good podcast. So, anyways, yeah, this is a Christmas special, and this is the first of what I want to call, the working title is Party Line Podcast. So it still ain't that a bitch, but we got people on call, so we don't have to have people physically in the room with us to record. Because with the microphone and everything, it's really difficult to get more than like one or two other people on at a time. So the voice call thing works out pretty well if you want to get like 6 or 7 people on at a time, which I think will be a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So anyways, I mean, I guess we should... Jesus Christ. Aiden, have you decided to... Oh, Sean's here. Yeah! Sean, I bet we can hear you, right?
Sean?
Jesus Christ. Aiden Ballard muted. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, I think Sean just talked.
Oh, we heard a little bit.
Hello? Yeah.
Hey, Sean's here. All right, so we got Sean Haggard. He's been on before. Nicholas Van Weeren. This is his first time being on the podcast. You guys got anything Christmassy to talk about?
How are we recording this also?
User.
Apple user is not recording jack shit because he's a useless piece of fuck. I found the freest voice software on my Chrome. So far, it's still recording, which is good. Last time we tried this, it cut off at 15 minutes. Anyways, oh well, what I can say, I don't know about you guys, but we watch a lot of those old classic holiday films around Christmas time. You know, those like stop motion animation ones, like Rudolph and like the yeah. And it's crazy because those things are all like a connected universe thing because they're all made by the same people. There's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and then there's Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and The Year Without a Santa Claus, and like all those are all those stop motion kind of things. You ever watch those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are great. We watch those every year, and so last night we watched Rudolph. And dude, okay, you know, did you watch the film theory on those? Jesus Christ. Okay, Aiden just fucking gave up. He made the chat and just left. Fuck, Aiden. Just, why do you even bother? He's unmuted now.
No response.
Jesus Christ.
Why do you have 2 Discord accounts in this server, Charles?
Me?
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh, I think I must be on with... I put it on... I got on with my Chromebook because it would be louder for recording, but I think I probably got on it on my phone as well.
Oh.
But they're the same account, so I don't know why it would be 2 different things. I don't fucking know. Anyways, there was a film theory made about those movies, and it was like about the Yukon Cornelius, the prospector in Rudolph. Do you guys remember him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that asshole was like, so the theory was like, because he's a fucking idiot and doesn't know anything, and like calls the abominable snowman the Bumble, which is Matt Pat's theory is like that's just him being an idiot because he's like a child who the theory is that he's Santa's lost son, because in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is the Santa Claus origin story, young Nicholas, you know, Saint Nicholas has red hair, and then Yukon Cornelius has red hair, and then he thinks, and then Yukon is also like the only other human in the whole North Pole that we see, so he thinks so he might be like his long lost son, and that's why he was raised like a dumbass and never learned how to pronounce abominable right and just says Bumble. But anyways, so aside from the fact that that's an insane thing to like have a theory about, is the fucking Christmas movie multiverse of Santa Claus and the North Pole, I have to call Matt Pat out on this one because he's 100% fucking wrong that Yukon Cornelius and Santa Claus are the only red-haired characters in the movies, because in The Year Without a Santa Claus, the other movie in that connected universe, there's a fucking kid that he talks to named Ignatius Thistlewhite, who also has red hair. And that's like the only other human in the thing. So every single human in these fucking movies has red hair. So that proves nothing. Just want to make that clarification. Dude, what kind of fucking name is Ignatius Thistlewhite? It's kind of crazy though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my Christmas thing. What are you guys doing for Christmas or like Christmas time? What are your holiday traditions?
My family has like a Christmas party every year. That was yesterday for me.
Oh,
And so
nice.
like it's like a gift exchange for like everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so my family does that like every year.
Yeah, I went to one of those, something like that once. Family, friends. That's nice.
No.
Who was that?
That was Aiden.
That was the Apple user.
Yeah.
Aiden would just make me like the server owner, then I could just mute him.
Speak again. Keep
Yes,
talking, you
we're gonna
fuck.
Oh, hello.
Aiden, we can hear you now. Why is your audio quality so bad?
Because it's on a MacBook.
Fact.
It's showing. Is it taking my?
Okay, Aiden.
It's showing.
I never.
Jesus Christ, we're just gonna mute you. It was better when you couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Aiden, say something.
I muted him.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. I mean, the more the merrier, but I guess we're just gonna do this without Aiden. That's cool. Sean, what about you?
We don't have any really. New Year's we
Nope.
have sushi and that's it.
All right.
Aiden, just
But now am I?
what the fuck are you saying?
I
Aiden.
muted him too. Just
Why did I talk?
right click on him and mute him.
Wait. Okay, Aiden, if you're gonna talk now, join the conversation. Don't just say your own thing. Or
Ooh.
we
Yeah,
can hear you. Or I can.
Yeah,
I
can.
can.
I'm gonna mute you in 5 seconds. 5,
It says I'm talking.
4. You are. 3,
How difficult is
2,
this to get through your head, Aiden?
1. Okay, you're not contributing anything to this podcast.
Okay, mute.
He's talking to himself. What a dumbass. Does he not know we can hear him now? Can he not hear us? He probably has all of us muted like a dumbass. Retard. Jesus Christ. Well, anyways, Sean, you were saying New Year's?
Yeah, sushi. It's fun.
New Year's sushi? Nice. I guess.
I can hear Aiden mumbling to himself.
I can't because he's muted.
Yeah, I just muted him.
Here, I'm gonna just unmute him occasionally when we have we have a pause in the conversation so he can fill the void. Oh, anyways.
What happening in your end?
What happening in your end? You're falling to yourself. The circle is lighting up. I forgot Aiden's not even on Aiden wasn't even on Discord until he did this. This is what I get for putting Aiden in charge of anything. The circle is lighting up. That means you're talking. Fucking dumbass. Or I was just gonna bully Aiden. Okay, but that's not interesting. Here, I'm gonna see what Aiden's doing right now. Let's listen to him.
Dude, you guys can hear me talking right now.
Yes, we can hear you. Sean sent Aiden a
He
dancing
just,
bear
he
gift.
just continues to mumble to himself. Does this
Okay,
guy-
I'm muting him
does this
again.
guy actually have a disability?
He's
Okay,
got
anyway,
something wrong.
Oh, okay.
He's just gone now. Bye, Aiden.
Oh,
He's back. Great. You're staying muted, Ballard, until you're gonna actually
okay.
join the conversation.
Let's carry on with the
All right,
conversation.
yeah, carrying on. So, anyways, yeah, my family gets pretty into Christmas. You know, like I said, we watch all these movies, and one of the best things about being from fucking America is around the holiday season, there's only one way to celebrate literally every single holiday that we have, which is eat food and sugar, and it's fucking awesome. So, like, I don't know if you guys know about some of the traditional holiday candies that we have, but Jesus Christ, it's just like they're all just like different combinations of sugar and dairy, and they're fucking delicious, and nuts, and it's so good, but it's so diabetic. Like we make this thing called, well, one of the things doesn't really make any sense, called a Milky Way bar, which is of course a candy bar, but it's different than this. This is a slightly different Milky Way bar. It's goddamn delicious though, so I'm not complaining, but I don't know why it's called that. It's like basically it's a layer of chocolate chip cookie at the bottom. It's like you get the chocolate chip cookie dough, and that's like your crust essentially. And then I don't know exactly what you got, but it's just layers of like caramel and nuts and chocolate in some order or other, and then topped with just graham cracker crumbles, and it's goddamn delicious. And then another thing we make though, that's like the most tame thing that we do. The other thing that we have is a something called divinity. I don't know if you guys have heard of divinity. This sounds like something that like Sean would have like a grandmother who makes it like all the time, and it just Sean would have eaten it through his childhood, and that's how he got to where he is now. Dude, you would love it, because like remember when Sean just like came to school and was like, yo, what's up guys, I got myself salmonella because I ate raw eggs or something.
Yeah.
That's basically, well, these aren't raw eggs, but it's the same kind of idea. You just take like egg whites. There's so many leftover yolks from it, but you just take like 5 whites of eggs and just like beat them up into Jesus Christ. Aiden is now deaf and mute. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, that's kind of what you start with, and then you just mix in fucking sugar and vanilla. It's like vanilla and egg whites, and it just turns into this white cloud that like melts in your mouth like cotton candy.
That's what I ate. That.
Well, okay, in the South we call it divinity, so I don't know.
Yeah. It looks interesting.
Dude, it's
My
goddamn
family
delicious.
always makes, this one dish. It's like a Dutch dish. It's called oliebollen. And it's like it's basically like a deep fried pastry with raisins and apples in it. And it's so good, and you put powdered sugar on it.
Yeah.
It's delicious. On New Year's, yeah.
Nice. Dude, my dad, the first time he tried making divinity, because it's like all recipes that come from like my grandma, right? She's the one that makes us all into fat assholes, and then is probably a witch that's gonna cook us at some point, but so my dad got the recipe and he tried to make it. The first year he tried to make it, like I said, it's supposed to come out as essentially like white solid cotton candy. It's a fucking cloud of like sugar and deliciousness. And somehow when he opened up the oven and pulled them out, it was fucking flat brown circles. He put way too much vanilla in it, and they all just turned brown. And somehow they were like slightly translucent, like vanilla, but like they're supposed to be completely solid white. Like I don't know what he did. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that was crazy. And then turtles. I'm sure you guys know about turtles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are great. Super simple and easy to make. So yeah, just that kind of shit. Fudge is goddamn delicious. Okay, Aiden's gone again.
Can we
Fuck
just
if we
kick
care.
Aiden from the server, honestly?
I mean, he still runs it, doesn't he?
Yeah. But
The
I
dumbass made the server and can't even get on it.
Yeah, idiot.
I'm gonna create a new server. Just
low IQ.
Yeah, you know what? Sean or Nick, you should do that. And we'll just keep talking
yeah,
on this
Sean,
one until it's
Sean.
ready. All right, Sean, go for it. In the meantime, anyways, yeah, so we get really fat for Christmas. Oh, one year, one of the things we got was, you ever get one of those massive popcorn, like, buckets, like a huge tin they make of popcorn that's split 3 ways. So you get, like, your regular buttered popcorn, your caramel corn, and, like, the cheddar cheese corn.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got one of those, like, I don't know if you've ever seen. It's just huge. It literally sat, like, it's the size of the cardboard box that I use as a table for these recordings. Like, it sat on our floor like a fucking, like, Play-Doh box. Have you ever seen one of those Play-Doh tubs that they make?
Yeah.
That are just huge. It was like the size of that and just filled with popcorn. And we ate it all year and it was goddamn delicious. Did you make a new server, Sean? Yeah, I see it. Ain't that a bitch without Aiden? Jesus Christ.
I'm
Okay.
gonna move to that. So,
Yeah, me too.
All right, here we is. Perfect.
Charles?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
you're in the wrong server then.
Yeah, you're on the wrong call.
No, I'm not. I shouldn't be.
No, you're on the one that Aiden's.
Go to the other server.
No, I'm on the other
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Says I am.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It does. Whatever, let's just stay on here.
I'm here.
Oh, just
Okay,
click on
join
that
the-
voice call.
Yeah. Join the vote.
Am I not? Oh, okay. Hey,
Alright.
got it. Dude, it said Johnny was online for the whole time of that thing, but he never joined.
Yeah. Johnny's always on Discord though.
That's a good point. I remember when Discord was first blowing up, and I like never really got on it. I made the account when everyone was on Discord, and then I just never got on it. So I just had this.
No, I actually did, and I played League because I'm cool.
Yeah, me too. I
Nice.
played League for a bit.
Yeah.
Also, I just used it to play the Pokemon bot game.
So I heard. I heard a lot of people were just doing that. All right. Well, so I guess it's just us 3 now.
Yeah.
Well, fuck Aiden. That's
I have a conversation topic if we want to talk about it.
yeah. Whatever you got, hit us.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh yeah. Have you been keeping up with that? Because I have not. What do you know?
Yes.
All right. What's going on with
Well,
that?
there's still only the announcement trailer, right?
Right.
The one that
I have seen that.
yeah, but I don't know. It's either going to be it's going to be better than Skyrim or like insanely bad
Yeah.
train wreck game.
Basically. I don't know. I'm fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I
It's going to be a masterpiece.
man, yeah, I really hope so, because that would be like the first game for me that I'm able to really enjoy, like as soon as it comes out, and like play it through when everyone else is playing it through, and not, be behind everyone else.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of money though when it first
Yeah.
comes out.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it. though.
If it's good, it is.
Yeah, if it's good. Skyrim was such a good game.
Man, it was so just unprecedented.
Mhm.
But knowing Todd Howard,
Yeah. Well, knowing the direction Bethesda's headed in, it's not going to be a good game.
yeah,
But
Oh, I don't
If
want
it
to
is a
think
good
about
game.
that.
then it'll bring Bethesda back.
Yeah, I guess that's what you gotta hope for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I almost wish.
all they need to do is just re-release Skyrim basically
Yes,
in a new location.
with a new plot
better
and a new
combat.
map. That's it. Yeah, and like
Uh-huh.
slightly, better graphics and a few more voice
Uh-huh.
actors.
Just upgrades voice actors. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they need
I
at
don't
least
have, like 4. 4.
Exactly. They need at least 6 for the new game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those must be like, I guess making the map and everything is like takes all the budget for it, because Jesus Christ, the voice talent is definitely very low budget.
Yeah.
It's better than Oblivion when they had made it in alphabetical order instead of like order that appears in the game. The tone sounds so off.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if Elder Scrolls is like great or terrible at the same time.
That is very true. The lore is incredible,
Yeah,
but the gameplay itself is actually like kind of mediocre. That's what everyone says.
I don't know. Yeah, no, like the writing is done so well, and everything else, I feel like that's like where all their budget goes, so they can't afford to do like anything else that well.
Yeah.
Like the graphics have been behind like every other game released like it,
Yeah.
but Jesus Christ, the plot and storylines and side quests are so well done.
Mm-hmm.
You can just play it forever and never get bored.
Mm-hmm. And it's so replayable.
Yeah, I know, it holds up so well.
I just finished the main storyline of my 4th playthrough, I think.
Nice. Fine.
Probably 8. Oh, that's Victor. That's definitely Victor.
Oh.
I'm gonna kick him from new one if he tries to join.
Yeah.
You can get some more people on this one if you want, if they're gonna be on.
Okay, Johnny joined.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna.
Victor joined. Victor's on his phone, so
Very cool.
I'm gonna kick him.
We can have.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
probably a good call.
Oh, stupid Vapor. I forgot. No, he's back.
Yeah.
Just like permanently ban him from the server.
Yeah. I'm gonna say reason for ban. Vaping.
Don't type. Talk. Why is everyone fucking typing?
I don't know.
I was writing.
Not you. No, not you. Fucking Intercourse.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's gone now. Doesn't matter anymore.
And of course, average 69 over here. But yeah, I think because I've seen like oh yeah, they also released a development kind of like documentary kind of looking thing that was like I think like 10 minutes long or something like that, and it showed like kind of like technology where they were using for Elder Scrolls 6. And it was like facial scans and stuff like that, and like photo, like they had like they're like scanning like real world environments and like putting them into the game, which is really cool.
Yeah,
So the graphics might be very good, but the gameplay might not.
We don't know. Jesus Christ, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't want them to put too much into like some other stuff that, you know, Skyrim didn't do, and then like fail on the things that Skyrim did already do very well.
Yeah.
Because I'd definitely much rather further like the plot and writing of Skyrim rather than like sacrifice that and then have like better graphics.
Yeah, that's true. But I hope, like, I would rather, I've, like, thought about this a lot, like, I would rather them take, like, a really long time to develop, like, a really well-done game.
Oh, for sure.
Than, like, release it right now.
I'm almost hoping...
Everyone is like, oh my god, I can't wait.
Oh, no, yeah.
It's been almost 10 years now.
I will wait, for sure.
Skyrim released, yeah.
Yeah, if it means a better game, I will wait as long as it takes. And I'm almost hoping that they, like, just release something else before that, and it's, like, really good so that we can actually be on an upturn,
they're
you know?
releasing Starfield next year, I think, 2020, sometime in 2020.
Okay.
Starfield. It's a space RPG.
Well, I hope that that's good enough so that we can have, Bethesda be going on an upturn for when Elder Scrolls comes out, and not like it would be cool to have Elder Scrolls 6 save the franchise or like save the company, but like I don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's like reminds me of Sonic. Dude, I don't think I've talked about that much. The Sonic redesign.
Sonic.
That was a big win for the internet.
Yeah,
Looks pretty
pretty
great
cool.
now. Yeah. Definitely gonna want to go see that when it comes out. What's sad is that the Sonic movie is now gonna look so much better than the goddamn Mario movie, which was made
They're making a Mario movie?
No, that was made a long time ago. It was live
Oh.
action and it was a piece of shit.
Oh, never heard of
Yeah,
it.
dude, that good. It's terrible. It's so weird. They like put them in the real world and they did so like they really dug down on like Mario and Luigi being plumbers, so they're straight up Italian plumbers, and then like Toad is some weird like homeless guy. And Bowser is just like a mob boss. And like, you know, he's got the horns, so he's got like the spiked hair instead of and a leather jacket. It was fucking weird, man.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ, it's
That
insane.
does not sound good.
Yeah, so that sucks. And then the Sonic movie, but the Sonic movie looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I do not appreciate the like animation and live action combination though. I don't like it.
I've never been a fan of that. Like, the thing is, it's never done with like good movies to begin with. You know,
Yeah.
like the movies that I can think of off the top of my head that did that: Stuart Little, Garfield, the Garfield movie. That was so strange because they wanted Garfield to look like Garfield, not just some cat, right? So like, we're gonna animate him, and everyone else is gonna be real. And then like the dog is a real dog, so it's such a weird universe where Garfield is an animated cat, but every other animal is real, and all the humans are real. It's just so weird. So like, yeah, if you take that for examples, you got Stuart Little in the Garfield movie. Yeah, it doesn't look great for combination animation and live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do kind of wish they would just go all animated, and then they could, you know, put in like the other Sonic characters, not just Sonic with a bunch of humans.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird. I don't know a whole lot about the Sonic lore, you know? It's never something I really got into, but I feel like, yeah, I think they're changing a couple of things around with Robotnik being like in the real human world. And I don't even know how Sonic, I haven't really looked at a lot of stuff about it. I don't know how Sonic gets into the people world.
I also don't understand. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I unbanned Victor.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Ching Chong Eater, he's just gonna be, I guess, just sitting there.
I also don't understand the like video game to movie thing. I don't get it. Like everyone is so excited, like, oh, they're gonna make a Minecraft movie, but then when you think about it, it's not gonna be good.
I mean, they're never good.
You can't adapt a video game into a movie.
Video game movies are notoriously bad, but like I can understand why people get excited about it, because if you really like a video game, like it would.
Adds to it.
Well, like we were just talking about an Elder Scrolls movie.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be. I mean, it just feels really neat to be like, that's a game that I played, and now I'm watching it happen on, you know, a big screen.
Yeah,
if it was like good.
Yeah, I mean,
if it was well done, then that'd be incredible.
Well, the problem with like games like that is like they're like open world, so you get to do. That's why people like them.
That's true.
Like the movies, you just have to watch it, and you can't choose what you get to do.
That's true, but there is a plot line. You know, it's not like Minecraft, which literally has no story, and except maybe Minecraft story mode. But see, I don't want them to go with like Minecraft story mode if they're making a movie.
Minecraft's story mode is so bad.
Exactly. That would. I don't get
such a bad game.
So much, and from that point onwards, once that was made, like that just became such a thing of people taking Minecraft and all they use is like the animation style, which is literally supposed to be shitty. It's just blocks, and then making stuff out of it that has nothing to do with Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's like that defeats the purpose. The whole point is you can build shit and break shit all you want, like Legos, but in a video game. And instead they're like making them people and stuff. It's like that's not the point. But anyways, okay, Intercourse Haver 69. That's who made the art, Victor.
Check the Instagram thing. There's like a really good.
Oh, Why are
Yeah.
these assholes on the server not actually joining? Stupid monkeys.
I don't know.
But anyways, I think there's like an inherent dilemma with video game movies that people don't. Oh, that looks good. Holy
Yeah, it does.
shit! Who made that?
I don't know. That's why I'm
I have
asking.
Chrysler.
They don't want to disclose their name, apparently.
That looks real good, dude. This is why I didn't want to draw it myself. Although I wish the C wasn't in my
also-
fucking chest.
In graphic design, we have to do a final project, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking of, for mine, I have to make a movie poster. So I'm thinking I could use like the idea behind Apple User Ranch as make a movie poster for Apple.
That
User
would be
Ranch.
That's an
great. Do that, absolutely. And do it like
Yes, I agree.
Avengers in-game style of like,
Yeah.
and Aiden is like Thanos and we're all the Avengers sending him to the ranch.
But I need to photograph Nick and Aiden.
God damn, that's good. That's smart. If you guys don't, so for everyone who doesn't know, which is anyone who's not in our LA class, Aiden, the fucking Apple user, is useless and terrible because he uses Apple products. And so in our English class, when we were getting a little too rambunctious for the teacher, he decided that he was gonna have to split us up a bit. So like he was very reasonable about it. All he did was say that you can't have more than 4 people at a table, and like you can't have more than 2 other boy tables around another boy, but that's like impossible. So that we literally didn't have to change anything at all, except we had 1 too many people at our table. So it's me, Nicholas, Aiden, Nandon, and Johnny. So it's 5 people. We can only have 4 people, and we literally didn't have to put it to a vote or anything. We all unanimously agreed that Aiden had to go.
Yeah.
It was instantaneous. So we just immediately were like, Aiden, get the fuck out. And then Nicholas turned it into this narrative of, based on the Dr. Phil punishment for like insane people, of for rehab, go to the ranch. So we sent him to the ranch, which in this case is the Apple User Ranch, which was a table.
Yes.
It was just a table right next to ours, but that's where he's gone into ranch rehab so that he can become an Android user like the rest of us.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
It is.
I mean, Sean, if you make a poster for it, I think at that point we're pretty much obliged to create the movie, the Apple User movie, and then upload it to NIMG Entertainment.
I could do that. Like, yeah, we could film it. That would be fun.
That would be amazing.
I guess that'll be our next big project after what's it called? After we redo the Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna try and do that tomorrow at lunch?
I think so.
All right.
Probably.
It would be better to do it as soon as possible. The episode that's going to be going up this week, I talked about it, so we want to get it up pretty soon afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be good. Sean, how much would you be interested in putting into editing it afterwards? Because we can add, a couple little details onto it to make it just a little more interesting.
Like episode 6 after we're done this.
Onto the Julius Caesar after we record it.
Oh, I can edit that, yeah.
Because it doesn't need it, but we could add, Nick, we were talking about a couple things that you could put on there.
Mm-hmm.
I can, yeah.
Okay, we'll look at it. So, yeah.
Also, if you want to green screen it, that's easy for me.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Ow.
We'd need a green screen, though.
That's fair, like...
We need the green part. I'm happy with the classroom, because that's part of it.
Yeah.
We'll stick with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, just make sure, Nick, I guess you still have that shirt that you wore.
Yeah.
And
I'll find that.
did most of the red wash out, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I'll-
If it's a little pink or whatever, that's fine. I guess I'll wear the same shirt as well. The karate thing would look really good with it, but I don't want to get Mio on it, so
Yeah.
maybe not gonna do that. And then hopefully we can everyone else. Yeah, Nandon and Johnny will hopefully get everything they need. This doesn't matter though, because by the time this comes out, hopefully the video will already be out, so there's no point in talking about it on this episode. Anyways, I guess we should get back into it. Oh, I was talking about video game movies, and I think one of the inherent flaws that like a lot of people don't really talk about with that is you encounter this issue whenever you make it, and people, you know, are never going to really be happy with. I don't think we're ever going to get like a video game movie that really makes everyone happy, because basically you have to make a decision of either, if it's a plot driven video game that you're basing off of, like, are you going to just take the plot of the video game and turn it into a movie, like basically like a feature length cutscene, you know, like word for word, plot point for plot point, or are you going to take creative liberties and like make a new story based on those original ideas? And I think like neither of those are end up being great options, because if you do copy it exactly, then it's boring. But like, so I think the best example is take the Assassin's Creed movie, where it was like there's a ton of Assassin's Creed. That's the first thing, is there's so many of these games, right? So if you were going to make one, like what game would you base it off of? Would it just be like the first game? I guess that would make sense, because the first game is the origin story of all that, but it's not necessarily the best storyline of all the games, you know? But so what they ended up doing, you know, is vaguely taking the ideas, like they took the Animus and basically the assassin part of it, and that was about it. You know, I don't even remember the movie that well. It ended up being just like really forgettable, but they crafted their whole own plot. Basically, they wrote a whole movie that was all their own. You know, it was this whole story about like some wacko scientist, basically the guy from the Venom movie, who was just doing experimentation on whatever, and all these guys were basically like his prisoners, and they were all on death row. And he just got them on, and then like they do a whole thing where they fuck him up and expose him for something. I don't even remember. It's so forgettable. But like, it was their own story, and all they really took from the Assassin's Creed games was like, we're gonna stick you in this Animus, which is gonna put you through your memories and make you into a badass assassin. That was about it. Otherwise, like, I don't know. Like I guess if the movie was made really well, then it would go over well. But then, like, what's the point in it being an Assassin's Creed movie if it's just a good movie that has a couple of elements from the games?
That's true. I think it depends on the franchise, too.
Yeah, like, it really does.
What you're going to do with it. Like, I would rather have, like, a revamp of, like, an old Elder Scrolls game for, like, say, Elder Scrolls. Like, I would rather have, like, a movie made off one of the, like, plots that have already been explored.
Yeah.
Have a completely new movie. Because it'd make me mad if, like, if I didn't get to play a game that explored, like, a different part of the universe.
Yeah, to me, it's just, like, yeah, whenever I think about a game franchise that I'm like, I would want to see a movie made of this, I always think, like, it can only make sense to make the game based off of the story. But I think that Elder Scrolls might have, like, an advantage in that it has enough lore in it. It's, you know, in a way, it's like Star Wars, where if Disney would get their shit together, like, you could make infinite movies or books or comics or TV shows or whatever of it, because there's so much shit there already. Like, there's tons of people who have come up with ideas for what happened between the movies and stuff. So all you have to do is take some of that. Like, Elder Scrolls is the same way, where each game like has a time skip of like sometimes several centuries, right? Of like where the world is like kind of dormant before something comes up again, you know, whether it's whatever, Alduin, some dragons, whatever, something about the Elder Scrolls. An Elder Scroll will come up, and then like, it's kind of cool because the plot is almost always like you're just some rando guy, usually like a prisoner or something, and then suddenly it's revealed that you are somehow really special and key to, you know, winning a fight against some new evil that comes up.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's really
yeah. So, but I think that because of that, if you were going to make a movie of it, it wouldn't be that hard to just be like, oh yeah, in between these times, you know, there was this thing that came up, or like after Skyrim, like, oh, Alduin's back, or after any one of the games, oh, this thing wasn't done with, and then like because again, it's a role playing game, so your hero is always whoever you name it. So which means so it would make sense for them to come up with a just a random name for a random character and completely create their own hero. The only thing I think that would be a problem with that is like you can't do everything, because again, it's an RPG that's like it's class based and stuff. So there's you can play warrior, stealth, mage, and you can't have all of them, right? So if they're gonna make a movie, they got to choose one of those things. So most likely they would go with like a really standard warrior kind of class that like uses probably a one-handed weapon and a shield or something.
Yeah.
Which and I think that's probably going to upset fans, but it's like, again, you can't have everything. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think it would be a neat idea, though. I agree with you. Another thing that really the only reason I think that a movie hasn't been made of it yet is because 343 just like is like fuck you to all the studios, probably, is Halo, the Halo franchise. Because they've had animated movies made and tons of like spin-off. They have novels and shit and all kinds of stuff about that are like prequels or in between stuff. And it's like it would be so easy to make a live action movie of that, and it would look fucking cool because Spartans and the Covenant look really neat. And I think there's no reason not to do it. Like it would make a lot of money. and I think it would, again, I think it would be easy to do way better than like, some of the video game movies we have had, again, like the Assassin's Creed movie. And, I mean, that's really the most recent one. The ones before that were so old, they were just trash. Like Mortal Kombat movie, that was just, like, there was no CG, like CG was not anything useful. So it just didn't help at all. But yeah, now with the effects, with the graphics that we could have now, it would be so easy to just take, the plot, some like little plot line from like a novel or something, as opposed to one of the games. Because if you did a game, then it would just end up being like, again, like I said, like an hour and a half long cutscene, which isn't really as interesting because you already know how it ends. So yeah, I think they have to, for video game movies to be good, you got to come up with something a little new, because then you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but that exists in the story. I don't like it when they just, again, make a whole new universe. Like, again, with the Assassin's Creed movie, it was like the Assassin's Creed games and then the movie. It's not connected. But I think if you work it somewhere where it's like within the universe, but a different story, that would be best.
I think if you had like fan input, people who actually play the games and are part of it,
oh, for sure,
it'll so much better.
Yeah, but they're never gonna do that.
More like corporate entities don't do that. It's so effective. It makes people like want to buy like the product so much more. If people from the community are actually gonna like it, and they have input on it.
I mean, yeah, but studios just are goddamn stupid and never do that. Again, it's the same thing as with the Sonic movie. They finally, like for almost the first time ever, they really listened and redid the whole thing, and they're gonna get rewarded for it. Yeah, and they're gonna get rewarded. The internet and everyone's gonna go and watch it because they deserve it.
Yeah.
But it just never happens. I don't know.
Did you hear Frozen 2 is number 1 in the box office, I think now? It just
Jesus Christ.
Just got number 1. I think today.
I've heard people say it's really good, so, but Jesus Christ, I don't know. I was not a fan of the first movie, and that's from someone, and I know, Nicholas, that you can relate to this. Like, I'm someone who has watched all the Disney classics, and I've watched all those princess movies. I mean, I was raised with 2 girl cousins. I think I mentioned this, so I watched all the princess movies. I have nothing wrong with watching a movie that is aimed for like girls, but it was just not objectively a good movie.
Yeah, that's true.
But people really like Frozen 2. Disney doesn't do sequels. I mean, that's just kind of a thing. Pixar sequels all the time. Disney has never done a sequel. They have made like straight to VCR like spin-off sequels. There's a Lion King 2, which I think was actually pretty decent. There was an Aladdin 2, which sucked. I think, what else did they make a sequel to? I think again, it was like they were just like straight to VHS or whatever, or like TV specials. They never made an official sequel to a Disney movie. So Frozen being the first, I mean, it makes sense because it's easily the most popular Disney movie ever. So it makes sense that that's the one they would make a sequel of. But I don't know if I'm really on board with that idea.
Yeah. I mean, all the old Disney like movies were good.
Yeah, for sure, they were great. And if
Yeah,
Disney,
I like them.
I mean, Disney just wasn't interested in making sequels. They made all their movies to have a beginning and an end, and that was it. And some of them did so well, they were like, well, we just got to make a sequel just for the money of it. But then they didn't, for some reason, they didn't go full into it. You know, they didn't get like the same writers or the same voice actors to do the characters and stuff. So they were just like spin-offs or like specials, and they weren't real sequels. And if they really committed to it, and were like, we're gonna make a sequel, we're gonna make a whatever 2, it could have been, some of them could have been really good. Like I think some of the traditional ones made from like based off of fairy tales didn't really warrant a sequel, like Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. They didn't really make sense to have sequels. But something, or like Little Mermaid, but something like Mulan, Pocahontas, like those are stories that can keep going because that shit never ends, you know, when they're taken from like some historical event like that, we know what happens after the fact, so you can keep again, like Aladdin, if they had committed to making a sequel, could have been great. Because like they get married at the end of Aladdin, so I'm pretty sure they made kind of a movie that was, the plot was like their honeymoon, and now I think the fucking bird is back, you know. And like he's the main antagonist or something. Jafar might come back again, I don't remember. But it was just like this wacky adventure, and fucking Robin Williams was so pissed at Disney, he wouldn't even let them use him for the genie again, so they had to get someone else to do the genie. So it was just a piece of shit. But if they had really committed and were like, we're gonna do the sequel, easily could have made a good Aladdin sequel. Anyways, now Disney's, I guess they were like, they saw everyone's making fucking sequels of everything. Everything's getting a sequel. Goddamn. Daddy's Home got a sequel. The Secret Life of Pets got a sequel. I bet the Emoji Movie's gonna get a sequel. Like, goddamn.
Oh, I hope not.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't seen it.
Dude, Boss Baby's getting a sequel. I haven't seen the Emoji Movie either. Dude, nothing can stop these animation studios. They make a sequel of everything now. Even
Illumination is such a terrible studio.
Illumination has become a piece of shit. Like, I mean, the Emoji Movie was Sony Animation, but then they redeemed themselves with Into the Spider-Verse, which I don't even know how it's feasible for like those two movies to come from the same studio, but Sony is whack, man. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
They're making...
But Illumination is so stupid.
Illumination is...
Like,
it's a joke.
They made the Despicable Me movie, and then everything after that was just garbage. Even the first Despicable Me movie wasn't good.
It wasn't great. It was actually a good movie, but like...
I didn't like it.
It wasn't great. It came out around like the same time as Megamind, which like has recently become a lot bigger on the internet as just like a memeable thing. But honestly, like they came out around the same time, and for whatever reason, Despicable Me did like way better. And they're very similar movies. Like if you know the plots, they're both about a villain who is pretty bad at being a villain, and then at some point they meet someone, and then it turns them, and they want to be good, and they become heroes at the end, right? And it's like it's real cheesy and whatever and cliche, but they're pretty good. They're both pretty good stories. Honestly, Megamind is a better movie, in my opinion. But Despicable Me did way better. People lost their shit over Minions, and probably just it's like Shrek with only the parts that are like a joke, you know, like the parts that made Shrek bad once it got to like Shrek 3 or whatever, of stuff like it. I mean, there were parts of the movie that were legitimately good, but they didn't advance those parts, because the parts that were super popular were, again, the fucking minions and the girl being like the girl who's obsessed with unicorns and all that shit, you know? No one cared about like the whole character development of this guy who's like, I mean, honestly, it's pretty hilarious to have Gru, this big ass adult man, going around and like fucking people up in his car and stuff. Like, that's pretty funny, but instead they're like, no, minions, haha, very funny. And like Vector was hilarious villain.
Yeah, Vector was amazing.
And then the sequel was just like a joke, and the third one was they had like given up.
Yeah. I watched the Minions movie like a year
Jesus
ago.
Christ. Guess who loves the Minions movie?
It was unwatchable.
Can you guess who loves the Minions movie?
Your brother?
No, fucking Andre, of course.
Oh.
Jeez,
okay.
he unironically loves everything that sucks.
Yeah. How about we talk about Andre?
Just a madman. Dude, we talk about Andre on every episode, so we're ready for that topic.
Yeah. Andre is just like...
He's
like,
so
you know
special.
how Filthy Frank is like the embodiment of
Like
everything
edgy,
that
ironic.
shouldn't be?
Yeah,
Andre is the same thing.
but unironic.
He's just edgy, yeah, and unironic.
He's the same thing, but like that's him.
Yeah.
That's kind of true. Dude, what?
Andre is like, I don't understand, like, how he can like so many stupid things.
No one does. No one understands him. He's so weird. I don't get it.
Yeah. Like, if you like something, he immediately doesn't like it, and then 2 days later, he'll be like, oh yeah, I like it now. So dumb.
Yeah.
Dude, him and Apple User make a great team.
Yeah, they do.
Because it's just Andre being like hating everything that everyone else likes, and then Apple User being like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. MacBook AirPods. Apple products. Hey, can you buy me lunch?
Aiden's actually in the red though. He has like $12 in his
Yeah.
account, and then owes me like 20 and Andre like 50.
Yeah, and he's not gonna make any money if he never shows up to work.
Yeah.
Also, like, I referee hockey, he referees hockey, but I make so much more money than him. And I wonder why.
Well, based on his attendance to the podcast, I can imagine he never shows up.
Yeah.
He goes to ref 1 out of every 7 games.
So dumb.
I hope he learns his lesson on the ranch.
I don't understand how Andre's family works. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Literally nothing makes sense about how he works.
His family is so interesting.
There are definitely a bunch of like rapists and mobsters and gang members.
Yeah, I agree.
His dad was almost definitely the head of the Moldavian mafia.
For sure.
Like every time he tells a story, back when I was in Moldavia on the farm, we would decapitate chickens and hang them by their feet. We slaughtered pigs.
Did you hear Felix's story about living in Romania?
I did. It
No.
was hilarious.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Oh.
He's like, we just our neighbors are too poor to afford fences, so we just walk in and stole their food.
Dude, Slavic
funny.
countries are insane.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah. People from there are not safe, though.
No.
I can't believe Andre was born in Moldavia. He's not one of us. He's not a normal person.
No.
Deep down, he's still completely Slavic.
Mm-hmm. And he's a bear.
Andre the bear. Andre should go shoot a bear and like instead of making a bearskin rug, just make like a coat for himself. Yeah. Wear the skin and disguises it. On
Andre
all levels
also
except physical,
seems to-
I am a bear.
Andre seems to have this thing where he wants to like kill like small animals. Like,
He
it doesn't make
does.
sense.
He absolutely loves to kill animals.
Yeah, like every time I would even mention my guinea pigs to him, he's like, I would have squished them till they die.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what a monster. I mean, like, he was just raised in a slaughterhouse, basically. He loves to kill little birds and pigs and chickens and dogs. But he won't hit girls. He won't do that.
No.
He's a gentleman, that Andre. He'll put his dick in them without consent, but he won't hit them. Jesus Christ. How long is it going to take before Andre gets the shit beaten out of him by some senior kid?
I don't know.
I think he's actually so focused on like IB and thinking that he's going to be a doctor or whatever that he's not getting into fights with like older kids.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think he can do full IB.
Me neither. He won't be. Well, I mean, I can't do,
Me neither.
but
no.
I've recognized that. That's why I didn't take full IB this year, and so he's probably gonna end up doing like 2 IB courses next year.
Yeah, I mean, as a partial Asian, I'm legally obligated to at least attempt full IB, but yeah, I'm definitely dropping math IB.
Mhm.
At least. I think I can keep doing English, and I don't know about social because I don't have it this semester, but it's probably pretty easy. And I don't know, I might do like one of the sciences. Bio's supposedly the easiest, so. But I'm dropping the shit out of second language. Spanish is goddamn stupid.
Mhm.
Like, aside from the fact that it's basically a free period, it's the same as CTF. Like, CTF was a free period, but you still hated it because it was CTF.
Yeah, same with architecture.
I mean, goddamn, but like in Spanish, we don't even get, computers access. We just have ourselves.
Yeah.
And God, the periods are like 3 hours long. I swear, they feel so much longer than a normal period.
Mhm.
Every single day, it's just like you get to Spanish class. It's like you have a quiz every goddamn day of the week. And then after that is an hour and a half work period. So you just sit at your desk and do nothing because he never checks the work. It's gotten to the point, it's the worst thing where in Spanish, I can get so bored that my coping for getting bored is to actually do the work.
That's unfortunate.
It's the worst. Andre, and all I see during the class is Andre, like every 5 minutes going up to Mr. Garen's desk and asking a question and being a kiss ass.
Yeah.
Andre
Good at that.
has sucked Garen's dick so many times. Not even kidding.
I don't understand. Like, okay, all adults love Andre. Like they adore him.
Pretty much.
I think he's the best human being on the planet. Then when you actually get to know him,
How though? Like we didn't even need to get to know him that well. You can tell pretty easily.
yeah, that's true.
Not adults though. Adults are goddamn stupid most of the time though.
Mm-hmm.
He just, I don't know what he does, because he's not like, I mean, he's a kiss ass, but he's not like really nice to adults or anything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he always says like, "Oh, I'm super polite and well behaved around parents and stuff," but he's still not like. Well, exactly. That's what I mean. He says that.
But he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah. He just asks them questions about their personal life and their opinions, and then they love him.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. I don't know about Andre, but He's still alive.
Which is pretty impressive based on how he acts.
It is an accomplishment. But anyways, he's doing it. Why the fuck? I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize that Nick was having a whole conversation with Victor a
Oh,
while ago.
I've been playing Civ 5.
Nice. How are you doing?
Pretty good actually.
They said it would be
I did not
awkward
talk
for them to
policy.
gift. Nice. Who the fuck?
Ooh.
my O key wasn't working on my keyboard earlier for the podcast, and so I had to figure out what was wrong with it, and I did figure it out.
That was a riveting story.
Nice. I'm glad you shared that with us. Well, so much for this being a Christmas podcast. I guess fuck that. I had an idea for it, but I didn't actually prepare anything Christmas themed, so whatever. I do have a few things I wanted to talk about though. So here's something that I guess I've been meaning to bring up for some time now.
Okay.
Well, okay, you know what? Actually, let's just stick with what we were saying. We were talking about Spanish class, and so I guess you guys wouldn't know, but what we started doing most recently in Spanish is when we get so bored. Now we have something to do, which is a Apple user made use of his dumb Apple product and started playing. Well, he put on Ice Age 3. So he found the Ice Age 3 movie online somewhere. I don't know how. And so me and Shani, who's one of the girls in our Spanish class, and myself have started just watching it. We're watching the whole movie in Spanish class, and no one gives a shit. Like, the teacher has not said a single thing or come back to check on us. We've gone through like half the movie in one class, and I guess we're gonna finish it tomorrow. And honestly, like, that's the best thing we could be doing with our time at that point.
Yeah.
But really, but watching that movie has brought back so many lost memories I didn't realize I had. I watched Ice Age 3. That was the first Ice Age movie I ever watched, and I watched it when I was pretty young with my brother, and we watched it a few times because it was one of those things that I guess we got really into. And then it was a while before I watched 1 and 2, and then 4 came out, and then 5. So I don't know what your experiences have been with the Ice Age franchise.
Pretty good, to be honest.
Like,
I started watching at 3 too, I think. And
yeah.
Ice Age is alright.
It was, I mean...
I've seen all 3.
Well, there's 5, Sean.
Oh, well,
Yeah, there's 5.
that's unfortunate.
To be fair, I don't blame... Yeah,
I've seen the first 3.
I don't blame you for stopping at 3. What really astounds me about Ice Age is, and first of all, it's made by like Blue Sky, which is not even a big animation studio.
No.
And I don't know how they have managed to make 5 movies out of just a really, honestly, average franchise to begin with. Because the first Ice Age movie is like okay, you know? And then somehow they decided we're going to make a sequel, because I guess it was the best movie that Blue Sky had ever made, since I don't think they've ever had another movie that I've ever heard of. So they managed to make a sequel, and then the second one was, I guess, better. I don't even remember it, is the thing. It was pretty forgettable. And then they made a third one, and that was the best decision that they ever made, because the third one is the best movie out of all of them, and it's a great movie.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ice Age 3 is, like, phenomenal. And rewatching, I've gotten so many memories back. Like, it's actually funny and an interesting story. But 1 and 2 are not. I'm going to be honest. They're not that funny and aren't that interesting. So I have no idea how we got to 3 movies before the series got good. And then after that, one was the human.
One.
Yeah.
2 was the
2
continent, or the melt one.
Meltdown. Yeah. The first one, what's super weird is that there's humans in the first one, and then there's never humans again in the entire rest of the franchise. But yeah, the first one, they have to get the human, the man cub, the human back to the human people. Its parents. It's like the little baby. It's Manny, and he's on his own, and then he meets Sid, and then they're working together trying to get the baby back. And Diego, the saber-tooth tiger, is trying to eat. Is with like his pack of other tigers, and they're trying to eat the baby. And then at the end, he like becomes good or whatever. And so then the three of them are like friends. And then the second one is the three of them, and then they meet the girl mammoth Ellie, who was raised by possums, and so then they meet Crash and Eddie, the two possums. And honestly, Crash and Eddie are some of the funniest characters in the movie. Again, like the first movie was just like not very good, and then so now you actually have a full cast of characters. So you got the three, and then you got Ellie and the possums. And then I don't remember. Oh yeah, so then like Meltdown is when shit's melting and they gotta like basically run.
It's like Noah's Ark and stuff.
Kinda. Well, they gotta get out as fast as they can, because like something like wherever they were on is like splitting off. And then and so then they make it to safety with a ton of other animals, and so now they join the herd, and now they're a whole fucking herd of animals. And then in the third one, Ellie is pregnant. And first of all, at this point, I think it took also like 2 movies for Scrat to just become an actual character. Like he went from being the occasional comic relief like side story to straight up every single movie after that, he starts the plot. Which is, I mean, they handled it better than Minions. I'll give them that. but Scrat's kind of a dumb character. I don't know. Anyways, so then in the third one, it starts off with fucking Scrat gets the acorn like he's always doing. And then the chick, they introduce the flying squirrel into it, which is the girl. And then he falls into like dinosaur world or whatever. And then Sid fucking finds the dinosaur eggs. All right. So, okay, well, like Ellie's pregnant, right? And then Manny's freaking out and they're going to have a mammoth baby. And then for whatever reason, Diego's just like, I don't want to be a part of this family. This is your family, your kid. I want to have my own adventure. So he like leaves. And then Sid is like, how the fuck does Sid sound? He's got a fucking lisp. He's
Yo,
like,
what's up, guys?
Sid the Sloth here. And then everyone fucking hates him because he's the worst. And so he's like, I guys don't appreciate me. I'm going to find my own family. Or whatever. And so he's just all alone. And then he fucking, the entire plot is kicked off by him looking into like the ice below him, like a mirror, you know, like smiling into the mirror. And then it like cracks because he's so ugly, like that gag. And then because he cracks the ice, he falls through it. And that's how he finds the dinosaur eggs.
And then he names them.
Yeah, he fucking names them Egbert, Shelley. It's like Egbert, Shelley, and the third one. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it's funny. I'll give it. It's stupid as all hell, but it's the funniest thing that Sid's ever done. He drew faces on them, and like one of them was frowning. It's like, oh, and so then he added a thing at the bottom to make it a smile, but then it just became like a scream because then his mouth was a full circle.
Oh, I remember.
Remember that? Yeah, man, I remember that. Like I remember that thing, the scene where he chases down after the eggs.
Oh yeah,
down the hill. Like I remember that so vividly. Sled. Yeah, and he grabs it with like his feet or whatever. So that's the whole thing, and then they hatch.
Shelley and Yoko.
Yoko. That's right. Yoko. That's the best one. But yeah, so he fucking everyone hates. Oh yeah. Everyone hates him. They kick him and he leaves, and then the eggs hatch, and then they're T-Rex babies. Right, and then they all think he's their mom, like fucking Togepi in the Pokemon series, and so they follow him around and like copy everything he does, and they're like, and then they are hungry and shit, and he can't handle them, and he's like, and the whole time he calls himself their mother, so there's not a single chance that Sid is a straight character. And then he gets to a point where he's like, oh, I can't deal with him anymore. I need to find something for them to do. And so he goes to the huge playground thing that like the baby playground that Manny had created for their kid when it came, right? So he made this whole thing for the for the baby to play in, and then Sid just comes and fucking lets loose 3 baby dinosaurs in it, and then every jackass in the herd, all the little kid animals are like, the playground's open, and so then they all run in and they start breaking shit, and everything gets destroyed. Honestly, that's the saddest moment in the entire franchise, is seeing the playpen destroyed. It looks so great. Dude, and so that was like the first tragedy of my childhood. But anyways, so the whole thing gets destroyed, and they're like, Sid, get out, you cunt. And so he leaves with his kids. And and then the T-Rex mom shows up looking for her kids, right? And of course, Sid is such a bastard that he won't just give the kids away. You know, they're like babies and I'm their mother, and if you want them, you have to go through me. And so then the T-Rex picks all of them up, including Sid, and yoinks them away to Dinosaur Land. And of course, they have to go save him. So all their problems start because they have to save Sid, the dumbass.
Yep.
So now they're all going to save Sid. And at some point, Diego shows up again or whatever, for whatever reason. So now all the gang's all back together, right? Except Sid, who's gone. And then they go, and then they finally manage to make their way into the actual dinosaur part, which is amazing. And then the best character in the entire franchise gets introduced, which is, of course, Buck. Buck. Short for Buck. Long for Buck. That's how he introduced himself.
I don't know how you remember all of this.
It's burned into my brain. I've watched it so many times. Also, I'm rewatching it now without any volume because Shani and Aiden are sharing the headphones, so I'm just watching it and like trying to recite the lines from memory in my head.
Nice.
But yeah, very nice. So then they get Buck, like a ferret or a weasel or something, and he's, for no reason at all, is like, I'm gonna help you find this guy. And at first they're like, we don't need your help. And then first thing he does is he helps them fight off like all those dinosaurs. And there's a fucking Ankylosaurus. That's how that became my favorite dinosaur, dude. I think that's part of the reason why this movie was so successful. Is every kid was going through their dinosaur phase at the time, and you know, you guys all had the dinosaur phase, right?
I actually don't think I did. Like, at least it was small for me.
Sean, you fat ass. Why?
I
didn't do it to the same extent. Like, I definitely had it, but it was tiny.
Do you not have like the dinosaur figurines and all the little and watch all the shows like Dinosaur Train?
Yep.
Yeah, Dinosaur Dan.
Yep.
Land Before Time.
I watched that.
Barney.
Didn't watch Land Before Time.
Fuck, I knew a girl who was obsessed with Land Before Time. She was a freak, like a psychopath.
I had the biggest dinosaur phase when I was like 5
Yeah,
7,
yeah.
I think,
Basically, those
like
years are like, dude, this girl's insane. She had a little baby brother, and so like they baby proofed the doors, and you know those handles you can put on the doors, so you have to squeeze it to turn the handle. I was a dumbass kid who had never had one of those, so I didn't know how to operate them. This girl would close me into rooms, and like she didn't even lock the doors, but I couldn't open the doors because I didn't know how to operate those handles. And I would just get fucking stuck in rooms for like an hour. Like they had this huge house, and then our parents were friends, so we would go over and visit. And she just fucking locked me in rooms all the time.
Jesus.
And she was obsessed with Land Before Time, and she was obsessed with Tangled. And then she made me reenact scenes from Tangled with her.
That sounds terrifying.
What a maniac. That was the most terrifying time in my life. But anyways, I guess that aside, yeah, I totally had dinosaur phase. I watched all those shows. I watched so much fucking Dinosaur Train. And I had to be a fucking nerd about everything, of course. But anyways, so when you have your dinosaur phase, you have to have your favorite dinosaur, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, Ankylosaurus, and that was because of Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. That's the one with the fucking shell and the mace on its tail, because like that's fucking awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
how many animals in the world? Like, you got your rhinoceroses, which have a fucking sword on the end of their head, which is cool as hell, and like, you know, any tusked animals, I guess, and like elephants, which have a big ass tentacle on their face. But Ankylosaurus has a fucking mace on its ass. That's cool as hell. Anyways, my favorite dinosaur. What about you guys?
I think I like that one a fair bit. The mace is pretty cool. I forget the name, even though you just said it.
Ankylosaurus. Oh yeah, and Jurassic Park, of course, does.
Yeah.
Another big part of the dinosaur phase.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, and then what about you, Nick?
Triceratops.
I also like the pterodactyl, the bird guy.
Oh yeah, pterodactyls. Pterodactyls are alright. That was the... Actually, it wasn't. Pterodactyls, I think they were like the meat-eating ones or something, and the pteranodons ate fish. That was the ones in Dinosaur Train.
Iguanodon, the guy with a big ass thumb.
Yeah. What was the fucking ones? There was like the Stegosauruses, which were the ones with the fins on their back. But then there was another fucking kind of Stegosaurus, which had like horns instead of fins, and it was way fucking cooler.
Oh, that.
It'd be the shit out of you. Also, like the Pachy's,
I know what
like
you're
the
talking
Pachy. I don't know if Pachy or Pachycephalophosaurus. Pachycephalophosaurus.
Yeah.
You bash their heads into shit. Pretty cool. Parasaurolophus. That was like the ones with the big ass crest.
Horn, like, yeah.
It was like, yeah, crest on their heads. It was like make noises and shit. Dude, so fucking cool. Velociraptors were super cool until you found out that they weren't actually like how they were in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Dinosaur Train, they had a Velociraptor, and it was like the lamest fucking thing. It was just a piece of shit bird, basically. Oh, it's Papa G1. He's gonna join and not do shit. Why are people coming on if they're not gonna actually be a part of the podcast? Anyways, dinosaurs were fucking awesome and still are. My brother got obsessed with the Elasmosaurus, you know, because some of those underwater ones were
The
cool as
long
shit.
neck one.
Yeah, it's pretty badass, I gotta admit. Still no Ankylosaurus. Yeah, Mosasaur.
I had a giant encyclopedia of dinosaurs. I would look at the pictures in it for like hours.
Nice.
I don't even know how I could do that stuff as a kid.
I don't know. We just had so much free time.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, kids are dumb.
Yeah.
Like I would sit and do stuff for hours and I wouldn't get bored.
I mean, I can still do that, but then like I'll remember I have fucking homework or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, life
I'm
sucks.
not in
man.
IB, so I don't have homework to do.
Sean actually still just sits in his bed and stares at pictures of dinosaurs for hours.
Exactly.
That's what Dash 1 kids do.
No Dash 1 kids vape. That's all they ever do.
Well, anyways, I guess I should get back to Ice Age. I don't even know why I'm just summarizing Ice Age, but I am, so I gotta finish it. So Ice Age dinosaurs, they're in the fucking dinosaur place, and then then they're walking and they're in the like fucking Pandora Avatar world, and then they see the fruit thing, and then they go for it and try and eat it, and then it's the plant that eats them. And then this was something that I forgot until I was rewatching it, and then fucking Buck, like I remember they got eaten by like a fucking Venus flytrap. But then when Buck comes to save them, I completely forgot. It starts filling with like, I guess it's stomach acids essentially, which are gonna like digest them. He jumps in and dives in, and the way he gets them out is he literally pulls open its bottom, and it's got a red wire and a blue wire, like he's diffusing a fucking bomb. But it's a plant. Like it's insane. Anyways, so he cuts it, and then they're out and they're free. And then that's what we've watched up to so far. But from what I remember is after that he maps out like the route that they're gonna take to get to where Sid is. And I don't remember all the places that they went to. The only one I remember, if you remember, Buck's arch nemesis was Rudy, the dinosaur.
Yeah.
The like white one with the scar, and then at the end of it he like tames it and makes it his own, makes it his bitch. But But anyways, before that, it's like, oh, you gotta be with Rudy, and then we got a meme format out of that movie. That's how good it was. When the possum was like, "Did you die?" He was like, "Sadly, yes, but I lived."
Yeah.
So that was good.
Also, they went to the gas cavern thing where they zipline down on a bone.
Yeah. See, I forgot a lot of stuff from that. And then during this whole thing, there's the fucking Scrat storyline of him trying to get the acorn from the chick, as always, and then somehow or other, dude, rewatching that stuff is not for kids at all. The stuff with the female squirrel was not kid friendly whatsoever. She was so goddamn sexual about everything she did. It was weird. Do you remember he gets tar on him, and then he gets the acorn stuck to his stomach with the tar?
Oh, yeah.
And she comes and walks her fingers up to it, grabs the stem of the acorn and rips it off, and takes all his fur off, and his fucking rat nipples are showing.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's insane. So that whole thing, and somehow they fucking fall in love or something, and they get married, and then there's the whole thing where they're married, and then she's becomes a really bitchy wife, and then he doesn't, and then he just leaves her, and he sees the acorn, and then he leaves her and goes back to getting the acorn. I mean, those movies are insane. But anyways, the scene that I remember from that after going to get Sid is one of the places they have to get to, and you reminded me, the gas thing was one of the hazards, and then there was the rocks, the tilting rocks or whatever.
And then they go on a flying
Yeah, they were in the volcano, but before they got to that, there was all those tilted rocks and shit that if you don't stand on them right, it'll collapse and slide down or whatever. And that's when Ellie starts going into fucking labor. And I remember they were having a one of the jokes, I don't remember why I remember this specific joke, was earlier in the movie they were trying to come up with some code of what are we gonna say when the baby's coming, and then they came up with peaches, and then she couldn't remember it, so she was just saying all this fucking shit mangoes, watermelons, and then Manny was all confused as hell, and he's what are you making a fruit cocktail up there? I don't know why I remember that joke. It's not really a funny joke, but I remember that line. Anyways, and then fucking Diego has to go and help her give birth because Manny's off doing something else, and Diego straight up has to birth Ellie's child, and then they name it Peaches. And then Sid, and then Sid's in the volcano, and he fucking goes over the edge, and he goes, "This is the end of Sid the Sloth."
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he falls over the edge, and then the pterodactyl comes and saves him. Oh, Buck is riding it. That's right. Buck is riding the pterodactyl and grabs him.
Would have been great if Sid just died there.
That would have been the best ending, is he dies and then there's guess we can go home now. And Buck came and replaced Sid. But basically, all I remember is that happens. They get home and they got a kid. And then they did so well. They're we got to make 4 and 5. So then they made 4 Continental Drift. And that's when now Scrat is literally just does everything for some fucking reason. Again, it's the Minions. So this time it's Scrat sticks his acorn into the ground so hard it breaks up Pangea. And so they go floating away on he's straight up. And then that's the one with fucking pirates and the grandma. Sid's family comes and then they ditch him because they hate him. But then the grandma stays behind. And then they got their daughter, Peaches, and then she's being an angsty teen.
Yeah.
And so shit happens with that. Oh, and there's a girl, Saber-Tooth Tiger, who beats the shit out of Diego.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a girl, Sloth. Everyone's got chicks now. And then 5 was so weird. I really don't remember that one. It's weird how I watched it the most recently. I just don't remember at all. 5 was Collision Course. Scrat fucking went into space and sent a meteorite at Earth.
I have not watched that.
Dude, no one's watched that. It literally at that point they had just lost their minds. We can do whatever we want now. They'll watch it. So they sent an asteroid at the Earth, And so and then Buck, but the thing is they brought Buck back, who's of course a fan favorite. And he comes back and shows like prophecy that this would happen. You know, a giant rock would come flying from space and destroy the Earth or whatever. But anyways, apparently it's not super big or whatever, and they just got to get to a different place where it's not gonna hit them, so they can live. And then that's like the plot. And I have no idea what happens after that. I don't remember a single thing about it. Fuck.
Yeah.
The girl meets the Peaches meets some dude who's like a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And then like they made a Christmas special. I bet that franchise just kept going.
Oh, yeah.
How did they make 5 Ice Age movies? I never can understand.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But 3 was good. They got one good movie out of it.
Yeah.
And well, okay, I got to talk about Ice Age. Hey, Ice Age is in the snow, which is like winter, which is like Christmas. So that brings it all together. And we've been going for about an hour and a half now, which is usually about where I cut off. So if any of you guys have some final thoughts. Oh, Sean, I just noticed I can see that it says you're playing Civilizations on. Yeah, I didn't look at that. Nice. Anyway, so if any of you guys have anything.
Nope.
I am good.
All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much all we got for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was not exactly as many people as I was hoping we were gonna get, but that's okay because Apple user is a loser, and we're better without him anyways. I mean we got Nick and Sean. That's the important people. We got all the homies.
Yeah.
You know, fuck Andre. He's whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but Bear is off hibernating for the winter or something. He's actually what he said was, I have to barbecue something.
Yeah.
I can't have to
Probably
barbecue something.
like
Yeah, he didn't want to specify that it
sheep or
was like
something.
it was fetuses. It was human fetuses. My mother had a miscarriage. We're barbecuing it. So have fun with that. Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, fuck off. Ain't that a bitch?